Hi students, Mrs. Eldridge. I want to try something different with this week's worksheet. These equations are a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them and I'm going to put this video on Edpuzzle. So on Edpuzzle we can keep pausing and letting you try parts of the problem, and then that will be your work this week. You won't have to do your work on this sheet and submit it to me. I'm going to make this sheet right here available on your Google Classroom. You can have the problems to copy down. You can write them on a piece of scrap paper. Follow along with the video, write the steps as I write them, but you don't have to turn in your paper. You'll just put your answers right in the Edpuzzle. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a different type of problem where you have variables on both sides of the equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our line right down through here. And what has to happen, you have to get all the x's on one side and you have to get all the numbers on the other side of the equation in order to solve. So when you do that, anytime you move a term across the equal sign, you have to change its sign. So we always have that cute little saying, jump the line, change the sign. So I'm going to move the x's first. So I'm going to take this 7x, it's a positive 7x, and I'm going to put it over here so it's minus 7x. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. And this is crossed out. So draw your line across. And then you're going to put down what right here, 3x, and this is always adding, 3x plus negative 7x. So that is negative 4x. Bring down your positive 4. Bring down your equal sign. This cancels, and bring down your 8. So now I put the x over on the left with the 3x. I put this 7x over here. So now I'm going to move the 4. I'm going to move this 4 over here with the 8. And really, if you take a look at this right now, this should look familiar. This is just a two-step equation. So you move the x term over to the left, and then it becomes a two-step equation. So you're going to subtract now 4 from both sides so that you get all the numbers over here. So it's x's on one side, numbers on the other. It's like playing that soccer game we've talked about before. You need the x team and the number team. Only this time when we move them across the equal sign, you got to change its sign to the opposite. Jump the line, change the sign. Draw your line across. Bring down your negative 4x. Okay. This cancels. Bring down your equal sign. 8 and negative 4 is positive 4. So now last step, you're going to take and you're going to divide both sides by negative 4. And then your x equals, this cancels, x equals, and right here you have 4 divided by negative 4, so that is negative 1. So now when you check, 3x plus 4 equals 7x plus 8. You're going to substitute in the negative 1 instead of the x, so 3 times negative 1 plus 4. This is negative 3 plus 4, which is positive 1. The other side, 7 times negative 1 plus 8. So over here, this is negative 7 plus 8, and that equals 1. Both sides are the same if you put a negative 1 in there. The next problem. Draw your line down. I'm going to move the x's on the left, numbers on the right. Negative 5x becomes positive 5x on both sides so that this cancels and it's balanced. Negative 3 plus positive 5 is 2x bring down your 2, bring down your equal, bring down your negative 14. So now this is a two-step equation. I put the x's on the left. We're going to put this number on the right so we can solve. Subtract 2 from both sides. This is 2x. This cancels. Bring down your equal. And this is adding. Negative 14 plus negative 2. So that's negative 16. Now if I divide by 2 on both sides here, this cancels. X is equal to negative 8. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. If you need a scientific calculator, remember it's in your Google Classroom. Go to your classwork tab, click on calculator, and I have a new scientific calculator there for you. So when you check your work, negative 3x plus 2 is equal to negative 5x minus 14. So now when we check, negative 3 times negative 8 plus 2, this is 24 plus 2 is 26. Let's try the other side. You can put your line down through if you want. Negative 5 times negative 8, because that's our answer. We're seeing if our answer works and makes both sides equal. This is 40, take away 14. Let's see how we could do this without a calculator. Well, 40 minus 10 is 30, and then take 4 more away, that's 26. So negative 8 worked because it made both sides equal. This next problem, put our line down through. This is positive 3x, so jump the line, change the sign. This cancels. 5x minus 3x is 2x. Minus 20 is equal to, we're going to bring down our positive 2. Remember, on positives, you don't have to have the sign, only when they're adjoining another term. Draw your line down through. This is a two-step equation now, so we're going to add 20 to both sides. Draw your line across. 2x. Cross this off. 20 plus 2 is 22. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 11. And we check, we're going to see if 11 makes both sides the same. I love these checks. These are my favorite kind of checks. I know you guys hate checks. These are my favorite kind of checks because you have to try both sides. It's almost like a little puzzle. You want to see if they're both the same. So 5 times 11 minus 20. That's 55 minus 20. Okay, so 45, 35, if you take 20 away. Right here, 3 times 11 plus 2. This is 33 plus 2. 33, 34, 35. So up here I'm following order of operations. You can see how important it was to learn that and practice it throughout the year. It helps us with our checks. So when you get this to be equal, it means you found the right answer. If this wasn't equal on both sides, then you would have to go back and make sure that you had all your steps correct. If you have a mistake, most of the time you didn't do the opposite operation, or you have an adding or subtraction, multiplication or division mistake. Last problem, draw your line down through. I'm going to bring this 2x over here, jump the line, change the sign. What you do on one side, you complete on the other side so the equation is balanced, and that cancels. 5x, and you're adding these, 5x and negative 2x is 3x. Bring down your 2, bring down your equal, bring down your 17. So now two-step equation here. We're going to bring the number onto the right. This cancels. That's how you move the number over here. You take and use its opposite sign and move it on the other side of the equal sign. Bring down your 3x. Bring down your equal. And 17 minus 2 is 15. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 5. So now when we check, you write down the original. Substitute in the 5 instead of the x right here, so 5 times 5 plus 2. 25 plus 2. 25 is gotten from 5 times 5. 25 plus 2 is 27. 2 times 5 plus 17. So 2 times 5 is 10. I want to add these together. 10 and 10 more is 20. 20 plus 7 is 27.